So EA rather randomly decided to kill off Sims 4 stuff packs, and then even more randomly they decided to resurrect them recently with their My First Home Chef Hustle stuff pack. Don't get me wrong, I do really like My First Home Chef Hustle together, but it is the 4th cooking pack we now have in the game. We basically kind of got 4 versions of exactly the same thing, but I am very much happy that stuff packs are not dead anymore, and it makes me wonder what actually could they release in the future. And I really wanted this wish list to be realistic because obviously The Sims 4 is not an ambitious game, therefore the ideas that I've generated are not that ambitious and I feel like could work in a stuff pack or at least a game pack, but ideally a stuff pack. The first idea is get wet. No, honestly, seriously. Obviously, pools weren't introduced into the Sims 4 base game. They did come as an update that came quite long after the Sims 4 base game was actually released. Despite that, they didn't really put that much effort into them, and we basically just got some basic square pools and nothing more. In, I believe, all of the previous Sims games, we got curved pools on release, but in the Sims 4, we didn't. So we know in almost every single Sims 4 pack release, there's always a base game update that comes along with it, even if it's really tiny. So what they need to do is give us a curved pool base game update. It would be horrific to lock curved pools behind a pack. What I would like to see in a pack, okay, we don't have water slides. Again, we've had water slides in every previous Sims game. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I believe they may have been in the base games of the previous Sims games. The Get Together pack came with a diving board, but we don't just have a normal pool slide, which honestly really surprises me. So Get Wet needs to come with a water slide. Get Wet also sorry, I'm gonna stop saying Get Wet. I also think, okay, it should come with a wave machine. I don't know if you've ever been to a pool with a wave machine in real life, but it basically attaches to the end of the pool and it pushes out like waves and it makes the pool bobbly and you like bob up and down. It's like a roller coaster. I feel like they could realistically do that. We also need a pool bar. Everybody has been begging for a pool bar for ages. In no other pack would they put a pool bar other than Get Wet. I'd also love to see some more pool tiles because we don't really have any pool specific floor tiles or wall tiles. So I'd like to see some more unique ones so you can actually decorate your pools nicely, as well as some different kinds of water and just some more pool trims. Also a pool party event, because we don't have a pool party event in The Sims 4 and I don't know why we don't have one. I think it'd be an excellent idea because it could integrate a pool bar object. You could integrate the water slide and actually make it really fun. Just saying. And I think that could fit in a stuff pack. Next pack, My First Arcade Stuff. Last year or the year before, I actually did a mod review of an arcade mod pack for The Sims 4. I actually thought it was really cool and it made me think, why don't we actually have anything like that in The Sims 4 right now? It's also been such a highly requested feature to be able to make your own arcade. I know pool, for example, has also been very much requested by a lot of fans. They could also integrate that into it. They could integrate some kind of claw machine or a basketball machine or a dance mat machine. I feel like there's so much that they could integrate with it, and it would also have so much cross-pack play. If you own the Bowling Night stuff pack, it would be an excellent way to integrate that. If you own the Get Together pack, you could put the arcade machine that comes with that. There are so many different things they can integrate with it. Obviously, if they just included a couple of random arcade machines, I think it would be a bit boring. That is why, okay, this is so random. Are you ready? I also think a pack like this could come well with an electrician career, a live electrician career, where you fix people's electrical objects. It would be very simple, of course, because it is a stuff pack and just rely on the base game handiness skill. I think it would work well fixing arcade machines and things. Don't know how you feel about that. Bit random, but at the very least, I think it would be really fun to have the arcade machines, because also we have absolutely no gameplay for kids in The Sims 4, and I think it'd be an excellent way to add gameplay for kids. I also think it could include tokens. You know, when you win on an arcade machine, they give you tokens and then you exchange those tokens for prizes, and they could have exclusive prizes in the arcades that you can get. I believe they actually had the exact same mechanic in The Sims 1 Making Magic. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I actually believe they also did this in The Sims Vacation / The Sims on Holiday, where they had an arcade thing. I mean, they bloody did it in The Sims 1. Why can't they do it in The Sims 4? If they can do it 14 years ago, they could do it now. The next thing I want to see, and I know a lot of other people want to see, is an Elders pack. Simmers have been crying out for ages for gameplay for Elders, and we got the Growing Together pack, and I remember just before it was released, everybody was like, yes, we're finally getting gameplay for Elders. And then the pack was released and there was literally like no Elder gameplay at all. awful. It was really, really underwhelming. The whole point of the pack is like growing through all the stages of life, yet they missed out elders. Well, they also missed out teens. I just thought it was so bizarre because the one pack that should come with elder stuff, like it came with a headscarf that an elder could wear, but that was basically, it was, you know, pretty pathetic. I would like to see a full-on elder stuff pack. I mean, we've got a toddler's one, we've got a kid's one, may as well get an elder's one. Obviously, we would have some lovely antique and vintage build stuff, as well as some elder clothing and shoes and hairstyles. But in terms of other things, okay, gameplay, I want canes like we had, not like the punishing canes, the dominatrix canes. It's in like the walking stick canes. That's what I meant. Why am I on about being a dominatrix? Am I dominant? That is for me to know and for you to never find out. But I just think it would be a nice touch to elders to just be able to walk with a cane like they did in The Sims 3. I would also love to see porch swings. Is that what they're called? Like the swinging benches that you put in your garden. I feel like it'd be sweet to have that in an elder's garden, and I think it would work well in this pack. I would also love to see a reintroduction of newspaper deliveries. I know it's not like in with the modern times, but I think it would be really cool to be able to subscribe to a newspaper delivery and have the mailman deliver it to your house every day, leave it at your front door like they did in all the previous Sims games. It's like such an iconic Sims thing. I just feel like they need to reintroduce it, and I feel like an elders pack would suit that. I would also love to see a will mechanic. We actually technically had a will mechanic come in The Sims 4 in a Sims 4 scenario where you played as siblings and they basically had to battle out for their grandma's will, and whoever won her over the most got to get all the money. So I feel like they could realistically integrate it into the game. I know a lot of people want retirement homes. Honestly, I don't think we're ever going to get them because retirement homes are just way too ambitious for The Sims 4. The Sims 4 does lack creativity and innovation, therefore they would never ever introduce this in The Sims 4. I'm like 100% sure. But being realistic, what I would really love to see as well is some elder exclusive aspirations. Again, with Growing Together, we got some more for kids. Why didn't we get like some exclusive elder ones? I will never understand. When you're older, okay, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when you're older, your aspirations in life change a lot. I just feel like they should have changed the way aspirations work for elders and just give us a few exclusive ones that actually make them feel unique, because right now elders literally do not feel unique at all, and it would be such a great way to make them feel unique. And if they fancy being even slightly ambitious, maybe giving us one or two elder specific traits that only they could have. I feel like out of all of them, this is a less likely one to happen, even though it's probably one of the most popular ones. Just because we got, you know, Growing Together, I feel like EA did a really terrible job at giving us elder gameplay in this pack, but because it was released so recently, I can't imagine them ever doing an elders pack anytime soon, at least not for another 5 years. I'm pretty sure The Sims 4 will still be getting new packs in 5 years. God forbid they do, but I feel like they probably are. So maybe then we'll have to wait for it. The next one I see absolutely nobody talk about, but I really want, which is like a beautician pack. A really iconic object that we had in The Sims 2, and I believe in The Sims 3, is like a plastic surgery station where you could offer plastic surgery to other Sims. And sometimes it would work out, but other times it would be absolutely horrendous. I love the idea of giving my Sims plastic surgery and it all going totally wrong and they have like those big bulbous Botox faces. I want to be able to give Sims Botox. I feel like it would bring back a lot of the old Sims humor, because The Sims 4 is very bland. It's not The Sims, it's a generic life simulation game with The Sims 4 skin on it. In order to actually make The Sims 4 feel like a proper Sims game, they need to bring back some of that old humor that's just completely missing in The Sims 4. And a great way to do that is to give my Sims botched Botox, even a botched boob job if they felt even slightly ambitious. Of course, The Sims 4 is very safe and appeals to snowflakes who would be offended by that. But hypothetically, if The Sims 4 was a Sims title, not a generic life simulation game with a Sims 4 skin on it, I would love to see that. I would also love to see a makeup or hair salon career, because with the Get Famous pack, we have the clothing stylist station, which is not the same thing. It really is not. It's very loosely a career, but it's not. It's basically not a career. I would love to be able to run your own hair salon, be a beautician, do makeup for other Sims and get paid for it. I believe you could actually do that in The Sims 2 Open for Business. Forgive me if I'm wrong. They also had it in The Sims 3 Ambitions, I believe. So really it should have come in the Sims 4 Get to Work, but of course Sims 4 is not ambitious. So I feel like I've said that about 10 times. I'm sorry, but it's true. Obviously, the only other option would be for EA to either upsell it in a stuff pack or a game pack. I think they would more than likely do something like that in a game pack because it's a lot of gameplay, but I think it would be more suited to a stuff pack. Now, the biggest one that I always see people talk about is a band's stuff pack where you can, you know, have a band basically with a group of Sims. Now, I really hate to be the bearer of bad news. I do definitely think this would be an excellent stuff pack idea. I don't know what they would call it. Get rocking, get jazzy, I don't know. The problem with this kind of idea is it would require you to get a band of like, you know, 3 to 5 Sims together in unison. Can you imagine that working? Could you imagine 3 to 5 Sims actually playing together with instruments? Have you seen how My Wedding Stories works with a group of Sims? Have you seen how Get Together Clubs work with a group of Sims? Have you seen how any Sims 4 event works with any Sims? That would honestly not happen. It wouldn't work. Bands are just out of the question. That's genuinely why I think that EA haven't made a bands pack yet, even though it's such a popular idea, just because I don't think they're going to be able to make it in The Sims 4. I also think there's the issue where so many instruments are locked behind random packs for literally no reason. Obviously in the base game we got guitars and we got a piano, but if you want a microphone, I can't even remember what packs microphones came with. Was it City Living? Of course they could introduce drums with a bands pack. Maybe they could literally just do like drums and a saxophone, but I just can't really see that working out. Now, this is extremely ambitious, so ambitious I don't think the current Sims 4 team would ever consider it. But in the Sims 3 store, we got DLC worlds. Like, it just came with a world and that was it. What I would love to see in a Sims 4 stuff pack, okay, is a really tiny world. Even if the world, like, literally just 2 lots, like 2 small lots, I would genuinely be okay with that, because I feel like they could add some really random and quirky things. For example, in the Sims 4 Get to Work, we have Sixam. You can't build in the Sixam alien world. There's literally no real reason to visit there, to be honest, because it's kind of bland and crap. But imagine if they released a stuff pack which was on an alien planet, maybe the other side of Sixam or something, and it literally had like 2 lots and you could just like build a lot, like a space theme lot in this world. I mean, that would be a great idea because they wouldn't even have to integrate weather with seasons because it's an alien planet, so it wouldn't have seasons. We could get a little bit of Morocco with 2 or 3 small lots. We could get a little Australian outback world with just 1 large lot and nothing else. I feel like they could do that. I feel like they could do that realistically if they were brave enough and just titled it a world pack at the exact same price as a stuff pack. Genuinely think it would work out, and I genuinely think people would appreciate it. I don't know what you think about that. Let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.